On today's edition of drwillettedavis.com Pep Talk, I really want to talk a little bit about fear. Fear really holds us back and it makes us fall short of what our true potential is. And I think more so than not being very educated or not having a lot of common sense, you can do a lot just based on not being afraid. If you are willing to step out on faith, I mean, that can put you ahead of a lot of people who have a lot of book knowledge and who really know what they're doing, but they let their fear stop them. I mean, I look at some people that I've known who are successful. They may not have even graduated from high school, but they're extremely successful because they just did it. They just took action. They didn't let their belief or their insecurity or their lack of not knowing how to, in some cases, read or write, stop them from, taking action. And that action propelled them to becoming very successful because it started the process. They had a genuine belief in themselves. And I know that it is very, very powerful. And I think it's something that we all face at some point in our life is, what am I really afraid of? And I'd like to read two quotes from Les Brown. It says, first, when you face your fear, most of the time you will discover that it was not really such a big threat after all. We all need some form of a deeply rooted, powerful motivation. It empowers us to overcome obstacles so that we can live our dreams. And the second quote is, fear does not have any special power unless you empower it by submitting to it. And that's something that, I think we're all guilty of. We submit to the fear, whether it's what's going to happen. You remember when 2000 came in 1999, we thought the world was just going to disappear because we weren't set, our computers weren't set for the year 2000, the new millennium. And I mean, I went out and bought a bunch of tuna fish and a bunch of gallons of water. I mean, I laugh about it now, but the truth is well, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I said, well, at least I'll have something, and I got some batteries, I think. I mean, I just something like that. I mean, it's funny now when we look at it because it's 2008, but at the time, you heard so much about doom and gloom and what was going to happen that you figured, I better have something and rather just be sitting out here or not having anything. And I think we buy into that fear. That's something sort of small because we can look back on it and see that it wasn't true. But what about those things where we can't look into the future and see that it's not true? What about those beliefs that we have about ourselves where, we're not smart enough or we don't have enough money to make our dreams come true, or we can't start that business, or we can't go back to school, or we can't begin to develop a relationship that may lead to, happiness in our lives. We sort of set ourselves back by thinking what we can't do. Well, I'm challenging you, and I'm also challenging myself to say, hey, wait a minute, that is not true. And you need to do it until you have irrefutable proof not to do it. Because fear is the thing that holds us back more than anything. So I'm challenging you and as well challenging myself. We're just going to step out on fear. And I'm just letting you know, this computer, talking on this computer like I'm doing with this pep talk, I was very fearful of that. And look at us. We're communicating in this way. I didn't know anything about computers. I mean, I just knew how to do some Word documents and I knew how to send an email back and forth. But as I continue to learn and I continue to just sit at the footsteps of people who really were doing this, now I'm got a microphone and I'm talking on a computer and putting it on YouTube so that other people can view it and hear it, and I'm sending this out to them as well. We're going to challenge ourselves. We are better than what we ever thought we were. We just have to believe in ourselves just a little bit. That faith of a mustard seed. We just have to have a little bit of faith in ourselves and we can make it happen. So let's continue with this fear and challenging this fear theme for next week. But I hope that by hearing this, you will think about something in your life and say, I'm just not going to face that fear. I'm not going to give in to that fear, rather. I'm going to face that fear and do it anyway. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to talking with you next week. Bye.